Hello, hello. Another week. More madness. I've just got back from helping the old lady I look after, and she's got shingles. And the GP has decided it would be a good idea with a lady who's in her 90s, who has a carer twice a day, to prescribe some antivirals that need taking 5 times a day. And she's already on an inordinate amount of tablets, even though she actually doesn't have very many problems. She's very lucky. Do GPs think? Do they think logically and rationally anymore, or is it just ticking boxes? Because if I was a GP, I'd be looking around going, right, she's 94, she notoriously doesn't like taking tablets. She's not even complaining about the rash on her back. And do I think it's a good idea to prescribe tablets 5 times a day for 7 days? I don't think they prescribed anything for shingles and chickenpox. I thought, because it's a virus, they'll always just say, oh, it's a virus. Take paracetamol if you need to, use some anti-itching cream or something. So just in general, I was like, really? And also with the whole carer situation, the company we use, and they're brilliant, and they are like, they're not on loan in what I'm going to talk about. This is across the board, but the carer said, oh, by the way, so-and-so's got a little nick on her leg. Can you put a plaster on? And I said, yeah, that, totally fine. She's like, oh, it's just because I'm not allowed to put a plaster on. And I was like, you're not allowed to put a plaster on? She's like, no, we're not allowed. I was like, right, okay. So what would you do if I hadn't been there? And it was actually really bleeding anyway. But I said, what would you do if she had cut a finger or something? And she said, well, we'd have to just get her to raise her leg or arm, whatever, and apply pressure and hope that the bleeding stopped. Otherwise, we'd have to go to the GP or A&E just for like a little cut, not like, major problem. So I'm like, right, okay. Interesting. Again, no wonder that A&Es and GPs are so busy if things like carers can't put plasters on an elderly patient. And it goes like so many things they're not allowed to do. They can only give anything that is prescribed with a label from the pharmacist and prescribed by the GP. But it just kind of, all these things just sum up, they're just a tiny little symptom of a greater situation where things don't make sense, they don't work, they clog up the system with nonsense and paperwork and stupidity and 10 times the effort that needs to be done. And it just, I think like many people, I'm just kind of exasperated with this country at the minute. And today I was like, does anything work in this country? Is there any common sense left in this country? I think not.